Well, I'm excited to introduce you all to Anne Marie. Anne Marie has been working with us within our Marketing Accelerator program for a while now. And I wanted to bring her on the call to share a little bit so she can share a little bit about her experience within the program. So, welcome, Anne Marie. Excited to have you. Can you just give me and us a brief little description of, what it is that you do?
Of course. Thank you, Derek, for having me. So I'm Anne Marie, and I'm offering one-on-one private dog training in the Canada, Quebec location. And I started my business officially in December of 2022.
Okay, perfect. So, do you remember why or how we first connected?
We connected through Facebook. I had seen your profile and instantly reached out because you had me very curious about how you could help me with my business.
Oh, for sure. So then, do you want to give me a little bit of or give the viewers, I guess, a bit of a heads up of how things were with the business, before we started working together?
Yeah, I still to this day, I consider myself new not only to business but also serving clients. Um, so I had joined. Funny enough, actually, I had joined two other business courses throughout the start of my business. And when I found your profile, it was the first time that I was really alone because the last program I was working with had to unexpectedly shut down. So I
Okay.
really didn't know where the ship was headed, and I didn't know how to figure it out, being very new and very unsure. And so my income was all over the place. I was making, my goodness, anywhere from, I think I had three $0 months in that year, and anywhere from like 1K, 3K, 2K, 4K. And I knew that wasn't a place that I wanted to stay. I was, yeah.
Yeah. Well, what I'd be curious to ask you is how long have you been, operating for?
Well, I started taking clients in January of 2023, if that's your
Okay.
question.
Yeah.
And it was already like, it was a slow start. It's like for people to know you and then to hire you. So I haven't, been serving people that long. And then my only means of marketing was really through Facebook and
Mhm.
the posts there. I wasn't paying for anything. I had a business page that I was posting on and a personal page that I was posting on. But I wasn't getting that much traction. People weren't seeing them. I was getting like, my friends and family commenting, but I mean, they uh they weren't going to bring me in business.
Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, so basically, around a year and a half, you've kind of been operating or have the doors formally opened.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So then, what do you feel like things are like at the business now or last month or however you want to describe that?
Yeah. So I just celebrated my biggest month last month, and I made just under 9,500 in sales, which
Right.
I really did not think, and I mean, thanks to you, I really didn't think that was possible for me at this point. I knew my business had potential. But my biggest month, I think, was 40, 4,400. And that
Hmm.
would have been last year. And that was a really one-off month. I was happy about that.
Sure.
Um, and I feel much more confident now in my ability to be seen on Facebook and to get inquiries and to get sales, to keep getting people in the door and being able to help more people and their dogs.
Yeah, for sure. So that's excellent. I mean, I want to take a moment to congratulate you. And I mean, I'm proud of you, but you should be really proud of yourself because you stuck through even when times were hard and you persisted and like the writing's on the wall, you earned it. To double your best month ever in the business is substantial. It's really significant. So I can't even remember, but honestly, I feel like it took me like 10 years to break like a $9,000 month in my dog training business, like my brick and mortar business, a handful of years ago. So that's the real amazing part. And because I didn't have marketing skills when I was building it up sequentially, I was working full time in another job. And it was just kind of like, well, let's just try to build this. And it was pretty single digit growth per year. So that's the beauty of when you learn some skills like this is like you can compress years into months almost, right? So for me, like
Absolutely.
some of the my students are doing what I did in over 5 years in like 6 months or a year because I'm like, I did all the things the hard way, the less, necessarily expedient or progressive way, and ironed out the things of what not to do. That if you focus on doing these things, you're gonna continue to progress, quickly. So
Yeah.
awesome work.
Thank you.
So keep it up too. And in any event, the next piece I'd be looking at, were there any unexpected benefits from the course that you took, with me, that you might have not expected or anticipated?
The community was a big one. You've built a very wonderful and supportive community of people who all work in the pen industry. So we're all kind of we know each other's struggles, maybe not directly within the field, and everybody's just looking out for each other and helping each
Mhm.
other, brainstorming, which is really great. Um, for me, the biggest benefit would be to have someone or yourself to light the fire under my butt when I needed it most. Like last month, I made it halfway through the month. I got the sales that I had, like my regular goal that I met. And then you said, well, we're halfway through the month. Why not aim for more?
Right.
And like that thought never crossed my mind, which is silly to say, but um, so to really help me step into that potential that I knew was there, but that I for some reason wasn't going in there for. And I'm seeing that show up now a lot more in different aspects of my life. So
Mhm.
altogether, that mentality of keeping it up, keep going, and of course having support along the way. Um, Also, even within the group setting and the content that you shared within the curriculum, you were able to expand for each and every person with their own specific situation, which I found was really helpful. Um, and especially for myself and getting a better feel for the marketing. Marketing has always been like that scary word for me that, marketing. And I'm finding much more joy and much more ease in doing that um, regularly.
Yeah, for sure. And it's like anything, right? It's like dog training, becoming a professional dog trainer. Like there's a learning curve, right? And it's just like it's overwhelming and there's a lot of things to learn at the beginning. And then you start to get kind of a stride and then you start to just add pieces on top of the foundation. And then it becomes simpler and more enjoyable, right? But at first, it's like a fire hose spraying into your face and you're trying to like gasp for air.
Yeah.
Sometimes it might feel like that for some people because you're like, there's a lot to this. And the more I learn, the more I realize I don't know, but you just kind of stick with it and you just keep progressing
And so
rather.
many opinions and so many different ways of going about it. And
Yeah,
it's
and like
made that much simpler.
and there can be like there's tons of different ways to do things and they can all be beneficial. Some of it's just trying to carve out like, well, what makes the most sense for my business, my personality, etc., that's going to help me get where I want to go, in the most expedient fashion or however a person wants to proceed. But
Yeah.
oh, for sure. Yeah. And the community is important too. So I think just to kind of reiterate it slightly, the I really do try to provide custom feedback beyond the curriculum of like the physical curriculum of the on-demand course. So on the calls, Anne Marie was, I think, expressing, and you can, agree or set me straight, that, I one benefit would be like trying to apply the premises and the principles of the curriculum in the coursework specifically to the particular pet business so that it fits into what they're doing and they my clients don't have to figure out how to bridge the gap themselves or I'm like no I'll help you like for sure I want to do that I don't want to just be like here take this it works, figure it out. I think if I can, the faster I can fill in the gaps, the faster people can progress. So that's what I want to do.
Yeah. You got it.
Okay, real good. So last thing is if someone was on the fence about taking, a marketing accelerator or considering just even having a conversation with me as far as if I might be able to assist them with their pet business goals, is there anything you'd tell them?
To really ask yourself what you have to lose or what you're afraid of. I know for myself, I knew that if I didn't change anything, nothing was going to change. and I didn't have the knowledge and the skill set in marketing or in business to be able to make progress as quickly as I wanted. If anything, I was losing more time, my sanity, my income, and the opportunity to help people
Mm.
in saying, well, I'll do it my way and I'll figure it out. Well, as you were saying earlier about taking, you know, a decade to make more progress with that, and to be able to follow a proven strategy that can, like, it was very reassuring for me to have that.
Yeah, for sure. And that's where, for me, I realized like I could compress time. And when I finally got a mentor, which I was already like 14 years into the business, I was like, oh my gosh, I should have done this years ago. There wasn't anyone, the right person that came around. And it's someone that isn't in the pet industry either. But I realized that a lot of the premises, it didn't matter what industry, I was still running a business.
Yeah.
So it really helped to accelerate because as an entrepreneur, like you don't have a lot of accountability from anyone except yourself. And usually the people you're talking to about your business are people who are employees, not employers. And their mindset's just different. They're like, oh, you should do this. And then you're thinking inside, you're like, that's not a great idea. Like, I'm gonna be polite and kind, mom, or whomever. But like, and you can see three or four reasons why the idea might not work for you. But, when you're talking to someone who's, traveled the path you want to go down and can be your tour guide, I mean, there's a lot of confidence that you can piggyback on and be like, hey, just do these things, stick with it, and you'll get the results you want. And you're like, okay, versus kind of fumbling in the dark sometimes is maybe
Yeah.
what it feels like.
Yeah.
All right. Well, congratulations on your making history in your business. Best month ever, doubling your sales. That's amazing. You earned it every step of it. You did all the things I asked of you. And I mean, congratulations and keep up the amazing work.
Thank you so much.
Just getting started is what I'll end it with. But congratulations. And thanks for taking the time from with me today.
It's my pleasure.